Act 5, Scene 1. The scene takes place in Belmont at Portia's house, where Lorenzo and Jessica makes the romantic talk looking at the night sky. They compare themselves with some of the famous classic lovers from the Greek mythology, especially about their nightly love, including their own love. Firstly, they talk about Troilus and Cressida, where Troilus is a Trojan prince who undyingly loves Cressida from another Trojan. Cressida will be exchanged for a Trojan prisoner of war. When Troilus goes to visit her in the Greek camp, he finds her flirting with Diomedes. He weeps a lot and decides to take revenge for her deliberate betrayal. Secondly, the talks about Pyramus and Thisbe, the lovers in Babylon, who lives in connecting house and are prohibited by their parents to marry because of their parents' rivalry, but they continue their love since there was a crack on one of the walls. Thirdly, they talk about Dido and Aeneas, where Dido, the legendary queen of Carthage, falls in love with Aeneas, the Trojan refugee prince but witches plots destruction over Dido. Then they talk about Medea, a magician who helped Jason and marries him using her magic powers and advice to help him. Both Lorenzo and Jessica talks with their own declaration of love to one another, including how Jessica runs away from her father's house. In the midst of their conversation, a messenger informs them that Portia will soon arrive back from the monastery that night. Lorenzo and Jessica hurriedly prepare for some good greetings in order to welcome Portia back home. In the meantime, Lancelot enters and informs them that Bassanio will reach there the next day. As usual, Lancelot plays the music. Lorenzo and Jessica stays to listen to the romantic music and talks about the power of music. Lorenzo compliments Lancelot about the heavenly music that they are enjoying. Lorenzo declares that whosoever are not moved by the music deserves the worst cruelties. Meanwhile, Portia and Nerissa enter the scene filled with philosophical thoughts upon hearing the music. Portia tells that it is because of the night the music has become the most beautiful. She finds candle and marvels shining in the house that takes both of them to the imaginative world. When Lorenzo hears Portia's voice, he welcomes her by greeting to each other. Although they were out of the station during the absence of their husband, she tells Nerissa to make sure that no one lets Bassanio and his friends about their absence. The next day, the trumpet announces the arrival of Bassanio, Antonio, and Gratiano. Upon their arrival, Bassanio introduces his friend Antonio to Portia. Portia greets and welcomes them politely. Bassanio informs Portia that Antonio is freed from the court of Venice. On the side, Nerissa charges Gratiano about the ring that he promised never to part from him. Nerissa tells him that she is arguing with him for breaking the rules, not out of feeling hurt. Gratiano tries to convince her by saying that he gave it to the lawyer's clerk as a fee. Portia criticizes him and tells that her husband have not parted with such a precious gift. Gratiano reveals that Bassanio too have given his ring to the lawyer who saved his friend, Antonio. Portia tells the crowd that her husband's love is empty like the empty finger, and she declares that she will never go to his bed until he give her the ring. Bassanio tries to convince her, but she refuses his reasoning, stating that he might have given it to another lady. During such quarrelsome conversation, Antonio interrupts and promises Portia that Bassanio will be faithful to her always. Portia and Nerissa then give back their rings to their husbands, saying that they ensure to take care of it. Bassanio and Gratiano recognize their rings. Portia finally reveals that she went to Venice as lawyer and Nerissa her clerk. At that moment, Antonio gets the news of his ships that have returned back to the port. Subsequently, they inform Lorenzo that he will inherit Shylock's wealth. All of them rejoice with their own success story and lives happily ever after.